All right, a good evening to you all and a very warm welcome. This is Destiny TV, a station that impacts your life. And I do believe that you're fine wherever you are watching from. And remember, this is Boresha Ukulima Show, where we bring issues on board that affect you as a farmer and even you as a consumer. And today we are here to discuss more about the irrigation technology, and with me here I am joined by Mr. Metevia. He is here to tell us more about some of the innovations that have been advanced in the area of irrigation, and you are going to learn more with us. And remember that we are live on Facebook, and you can join us in this discussion as well, and we will learn more. So sir, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to our audience and tell them who you are, what you do, and then from there we get to learn more.
Thank you very much, Ken, for having me in Destiny TV.
Yes.
My name is Daniel Metevia. I work in Meru University of Science and Technology, yes, as an assistant lecturer in physics, and very passionate in development of technologies that are geared towards solving day-to-day problems of our people.
Sure.
So today I'm here to talk about an innovation that I and other colleagues and even my students have worked on over a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And we call it a sensor-based automatic irrigation system.
Yes.
What is a sensor-based automatic irrigation? Basically, the goal for this technology is to help farmer do irrigation, yes, more efficiently, deliver water when it is needed to the crops at the right amount, so that you don't over irrigate or under irrigate.
Okay. Wow, that's a very good introduction. And even before we come back to the discussion, and all of us, we are facing this pandemic, and there's a video I saw in your channel. Maybe even as we continue to discuss this, because it's also related on the innovation, maybe you can tell our viewers some things more about the food accelerated innovation, and our directors will be there to show our audience the same, even as we continue.
Thank you very much. So, food activated hand washing water dispenser, yes, is an innovation. I must say it's from my student who have developed a very innovative way of the gadget releasing water to wash your hands, so that you don't have to turn the tap with your hands.
Yes.
And wash your hands. So you just approach there, place the pedal, water is released, you wash your hands with the soap, wash thoroughly. I'm sure you have seen the guidelines of hand washing, and once you are done, release the pedal, water goes away. Yes. The whole point is to minimize the contact of the tap with your hands, because you don't know who touched that tap previously, and so you don't have to touch that tap. The beauty of it is the system is powered by solar, and it is very suitable for public places. I'm talking of matatu stages, I'm talking of supermarkets, entrances, those public places. It's an high-tech technology, but available at a very affordable cost, I would say. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to launching a few units in Meru County, so that our people can enjoy homemade innovation.
At least we'll be able to curb the spread of this COVID-19.
Right.
In fact, all of us, we are facing this pandemic, and we are trying to bring the issues and the innovations at least to stop the spread of this COVID-19. And today I was watching the president when he was giving the briefings, and he said that he has extended the lockdown. Actually, up to 6th June, it will be 21 days. And all of us need to be a participator in making sure that this disease is not spreading, and we are taking the necessary measures. So back to our discussion today, and you had mentioned the goals. What is this solar-based accelerated irrigation system is all about? What is its goal? Even as we begin.
Thank you. Yes. So as I am saying, the primary goal is to have a system that would deliver water to crops at the right time, at the right amount.
Yes.
That would ensure that crops would produce yields at their optimal they would produce yields at their very best. Because you see, the problem with them not applying the right amount of water at the right time is you either tend to stress the crops, and that affects their yields.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. And the next one, we are going. You are going to tell us more about the key features of this solar-based accelerated kind of a system. And the directors, they will show us that clip. And by seeing the clip, we'll be able to understand, even as you explain to us, the key features of that innovation. Yes.
So there are several key features of this sensor-based automatic irrigation system.
Yes.
The prime one is the ability for the system to detect automatically when the soils need to be watered.
Sure.
The system is designed to have soil moisture sensors. These are probes that detect the water content in the soil and instruct the system automatically to either apply water to the crops if the soil content is low, or when enough water has been applied, the sensors will tell the system to stop watering the crops. So that is very key, because you apply the right amount of water when it is needed automatically. So that is the first key feature of this system. Now, the second key feature is that we call that key feature automatic mode. So you set up the system, power it on, and it runs automatically. You don't even interfere with it. The other key feature is the ability to use your phone to communicate with the system. For instance, you can send an SMS to tell the system to start watering the crops wherever you are. You could be very far from your field, from your shamba. You key in a text that instructs the system to start watering the crops. You can text another SMS to tell it to stop watering. So we call that SMS mode of operation. There is also another feature where you can decide you want to time the system. You let the system water the crops for like 30 minutes and then shut on daily basis. So you set it to always water at 30 minutes. It will always be going on for 30 minutes a day, stop until the following day. So that's another key feature. Or you can even program it for amount of water. Like you can say every day you want 200 liters of water to be released to the crops. And that is it. So those are some of the key features of the system. So and we believe with those key features we make people who would otherwise find farming very difficult now to manage farming. For example, you could be here at Destiny TV and watering your crops.
Now, sure, at least that will be very much interesting for me.
Yeah,
yes.
So those are the key features that the sensor-based automatic irrigation system comes with. Yes.
Okay, that's very good, and at least even the viewers are able to know that you see now agriculture is becoming dynamic. It is becoming dynamic. You find that wherever you are, you can do farming, and that's why we always say in Boresha Ukulima that you embrace farming and feed the nation. It's not about, you know, some people think agriculture is about going to the farm, getting dirty. It's not all about that, but at least you've been able to see how much effective this kind of technology is all about. And I believe that you've been able to see that in details. Then you'll tell us more about the system component, the system architecture, and about this solar-based irrigation kind of a system.
Thank you very much. Now the system is comprised of the following key components.
Yes.
To start with, I must mention that it is solar powered.
Yes.
And this enables a farmer to place it at whatever corner of his shamba.
Okay.
It's actually housed in wheelbarrow kind of setup, okay, so that you can push it to your shamba at whatever point you want to start irrigating. You place it there. It's solar powered. You don't have to worry about electricity. But if you feel that electricity is the one for you, you can still use electricity. So that's one key component of the system.
Yes.
Number two, we have the solar power and the water pump. And this is optional because depending on your water source, you might need to use a pump. For example, if your water is coming from a dam or from the river, you need a pump to push the water from the source to where the crops are. So you need a pump. But if your source of water is probably project piped water, which comes by gravity, then you don't need the pump. Then goes to the heart of the system. We call it control system. This is the brain of the system. The brain of the system coordinates with the soil moisture sensors placed at the plot where you are growing your crops. You can even determine the duration of time. The sensor sends the signal to the control system to tell it, hey, we need water in this plot, and the control system will release water, will open a valve that channels water to that given portion of land. Now, so water flows through a pipeline and then goes to the portion of land where the crops are, and it is dispensed using either drip lines or sprinklers. We prefer, when we want to minimize water loss, we prefer drip lines to be installed, because the water efficiency is very high there. But there are some crops which require sprinkler. Then even sprinklers can operate in this setup. So in a nutshell, that's how the system, the entire system is wired, if I may say that.
And now that at least we've been able to know the architecture of that system, and all of us, we know that even before anybody enters into the field of farming, the goal of every farmer is to make profit. And you've mentioned something about the drip lines, and we know that one of the irrigation technology is that of drip irrigation, because it uses less water, small amount of water. So even though it's on a dry season and the water is a limitation, that means that you'll be able to do the kind of irrigation that you carry out very much efficient. And as we move on, and even as we prepare ourselves for the big question this evening, you tell us more about what are the, before you begin doing that project with your colleagues, there's something that came into your mind. And what was that problem that you researched and find out there is a problem somewhere that you need to solve? And now that you have the technology, now the system is here. And if I decide to adapt that, to go and maybe apply that technology, how will that technology benefit me? What is a problem that is being solved by that technology?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So we begin with how we conceptualized this idea of sensor-based automatic irrigation system.
Yes.
This is an idea that has been under development for quite some time now. I would think more than 8 years now. I would say that the first trigger to starting to develop this thing happened when I was working somewhere else as a high school teacher, and a colleague approached me. He actually and the idea of developing a system that automates irrigation, and he wanted me to assist him because of my expertise in electronics to help a student do a science congress project on that system.
Yes.
So we started working on the concept, and it really performed very well at that point. But later on, after science congress, my colleague and the student forgot about the idea, but the idea kept ringing in my mind, and at that time I didn't think like this is something that can solve a real problem. I just wanted to do a project for fun, as an electronic hobby. Young men like that kind of a project for fun, not necessarily to solve a big problem. But over the years, I've developed a conviction that this thing needs not now be fun. It can solve a real problem. There's a big problem out there, sure, waiting to be solved by this idea. And so we have assembled a team, and now we are really focused to delivering this solution to farmers. Maybe at some point I will discuss some of the opportunities that have arose from our efforts.
And
so okay, number two,
yes,
I was to address the problem that we wish to solve by this innovation. Yes. There are actually 5 key issues that we wish to address.
Sure.
Let me start with the issue number 1, the cost of irrigation management. Yes. And let me give a scenario. Yes. That you are a farmer, you have like 1 acre or 2 acre or 3 acre of land, so we classify you as a small scale farmer, but all the same you are a very serious farmer, because that kind of land you can do a lot with it. Now you want to grow tomatoes in your 2 acre plot, in your 2 acre land. that tells you you have to consider engaging someone on daily basis to manage irrigation until your tomatoes or potatoes or onions mature. So you have to engage someone on daily basis for about 3 months. At what cost? So you can do some simple mathematics and say, let me employ this guy at 400 shillings per day. In a month, that translates to 12,000. In 3 months, that translates to 36,000. Yes. If you are to do that for 2 seasons in a year, we are talking of about 72,000 shillings for managing irrigation, just labor for irrigation. So you see, there is a significant amount of cost in irrigation. And one of our objectives was to reduce that cost by developing a system that can learn automatically. Number 2 was water efficiency, increase the water efficiency. What do we mean by that? Even if you employ your person to do irrigation, he may not do it the right way. He may not apply the right amount of water to crops at the right time. And that causes now crops to perform below the expected yield. So with our system, because the sensor is monitoring the roots of the crops and determines when the water is needed and delivers water at that time and stops when exactly the amount of water has been delivered. So you do it very efficiently. And that brings us to the third point, the third issue that we are solving, that through this high efficiency of water used by our system, then you can even do more irrigation. You can apply irrigation to a bigger piece of land with a very limited water resource. Like if traditionally you are doing a quarter an acre irrigation, then using our system you can do an acre.
Sure.
And yeah, so that is another benefit or another problem we wanted to solve, making the irrigation water efficiency increase. And also that also means for the amount of water you are employing to your crops, you increase the yields because of better water uptake to the crops. So if I may go to the fourth problem that our system is addressing, and I would say this is also very interesting. It is what I'm calling efficient distribution of water in community water projects. So this is now outside the farmer field, where we can apply the same technology to the community water project, where our water projects are managed such that you have a motor and you have so many farmers getting their water from the motor, and someone is tasked to come and open the water from that point and shut it. And that introduces a lot of unreliability, because this person will tell a given group of farmers or households that you expect water on this day at this time, but you will forget only to remember the following day. And this is a problem because you can't plan to irrigate your crops with that kind of operation. So our system can automate that problem, because you install it at that point where people are being water is being distributed to different pipelines that are going to different households, and the system will learn automatically.
And then we have
and that would even minimize conflicts, because
to the
most
crops,
of us have
where
seen
the water
even
is administered
people
using drip irrigation. Also,
people get
we have
into serious
the water pan,
with
which is
each other
meant to
because
collect
of people
rainwater
getting
harvested,
water for others,
and
things like
then
that, and even
the harvested water is
leakages.
pumped by
Our
a
system is
solar
able to
panel and a solar
detect
pump
when there is
to
a leakage
an
in the
aerated
pipeline
tank,
and
where
alert
it is
now the
released by
people
gravity to
managing
the
the
system and
project
then to
that,
the crops.
hey,
So
at this point
briefly,
there is a
that's
leakage,
the
please fix it
system.
before a lot
So
of water
when
wastage.
the water is released from the
It's a
system,
good system.
it goes.
Okay, we are moving on well, and now to the big question that I would love to ask you. What is the importance of irrigation technology? Remember that you can participate with us and send your comment via the number that is appearing on your screen, or you can still find us on Facebook, Destiny TV Kenya, and on our Instagram and Twitter. Go ask a question if you have, and still help us to understand what is the importance of irrigation technology. And even as we take break, we will be shortly back, and don't go far. So stay tuned.
My name is Daniel Maitevia. I'm from Meru University of Science and Technology. Now what we have here is sensor-based automatic irrigation system. It's an electronic gadget aimed at automating the process of doing irrigation with a view of cutting the costs of doing irrigation, and number two, minimizing water wastage. So our system has got sensors which detects when the soil is dry and automatically supply the water, and when enough water has been delivered, it shuts the water supply. Now it has many outlets where you can distribute your water to different portions of the land, and it will sequentially apply water to each portion. You can even determine the duration of time that water will be applied to each portion, and thereafter it automatically closes the water supply and takes the water supply to the next portion. The system is solar powered so that it can be used in the field, and it consists of the control system, which is programmed to listen to the sensor and drive the motorized water valves. And then we have the pipeline which delivers water from the system to the crops, where the water is administered using drip irrigation. Also, we have the water pan, which is meant to collect rainwater harvested, and then the harvested water is pumped by a solar panel and a solar pump to an elevated tank, where it is released by gravity to the system and then to the crops. So briefly, that's the system. So when the water is released from the system, it goes to the crops through the drip lines, and we divide the land under irrigation into different portions of land, each measuring an acre, which is supplied by a single water outlet from the system. Now what happens is a sensor soil moisture sensor is installed in each portion of land, so that it keeps on monitoring the soil content in the soil, and when the soil is dry, it instructs the system wirelessly to deliver the water. When enough water has been delivered, it instructs the system to stop watering and then channel the water to other portions. At the moment, we have 5 different portions which are watered by the system. Also, we do the same irrigation to the banana crops that we have here. And from that, the bananas have been doing very well, as you can see. The bananas are fed by water using the drip line system.
All right, welcome back. I believe that you've been able to see that video clearly, and that is him on the field, and you are able to understand that video very well. And we are moving on very well. And remember, before we had gone for the commercial break, we had asked you a question, and what is the importance of irrigation technology? Send us your comment via the number that is appearing at the very bottom head bar of your screen, or you can also comment via the text box on Facebook and other social media platforms. And as we move on, sir, you'll tell us some of the opportunities that have opened up through the introduction of this kind of a system.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Yes.
Now, first of all, I must say that this system, as you have seen in that clip, is already installed in Meru University in demo farm.
Yes.
And any person who wish to find more information can visit us there. Mm-hmm. And that is a great plus, because anyone wanting to adopt the innovation would want to see it somewhere else working. Also, another opportunity that has opened up is through the government of Kenya. We are about to receive a funding to be able to pilot this innovation in Tharaka Nithi County. Okay. And we are going to install the system to about 30 households. Mm-hmm. And basically pilot the system there. Mm-hmm. And the way we intend to do it is we will have we will use rainwater harvested in earth pan. Yes. That is already established, and we are going to be pumping water from that earth pan, distribute it to farmers' plots. And we will facilitate them to grow different high-value crops for commercial and also their family nutritional needs. Okay. So that is a very exciting opportunity, if you ask me, because it is a chance to roll the technology to where it belongs. Also, we have now farmers from different places expressing interest to adopt the technology. I have two very serious prospective clients that we are looking at installing the system to their shambas very soon. Those are some of the openings that are coming from this technology.
Okay, that's very good, and at least now that our farmers, you see, we always tell our farmers that in Boresha Ukulima program, this is where we bring you knowledge and skills that you can apply so that you become an improved farmer. And our farmers really benefit a lot, and we've been receiving a lot of messages from our viewers, the followers who follow Boresha Ukulima program, and they usually comment so positively. And I love that. And at least today, now that we have been able to see this kind of an automated system, maybe you are interested in doing that and applying that in your farm, maybe in your school, maybe wherever you are, and you can still reach us. You said in your comment via the number on your screen, and the Facebook page, you follow us there and you'll be able to get in touch with us. And even as we wind up, and you'll be able to tell us maybe what would you recommend, and what message do you have for the people who follow Destiny TV and more so this Boresha Ukulima program, because there are so many people who are watching all the way from Nairobi and Nakuru and all corners of Kenya. People are following us right now. I don't know what message that you have for them as a farmers as well as consumers.
Thank you very much, Ken. First is to request viewers to always stay tuned to Destiny TV. It's a great TV. I learn a lot from it spiritually, and it gives a chance to people out there to express what they are doing for the community. So I really recommend viewers to stay tuned to Destiny TV. Number two, I have like two messages that I would wish to go out there. One is I really encourage people to come and adopt this technology. You have earned the benefits of this technology. It's a technology that can improve your crop yields and your earnings. But by you adopting the technology, and you become now like a marketing agent, because people can come and see the technology from your place, and you become our agent. And that means assigned opportunity even for the person who has adopted it, because we can negotiate over commission. Number two is my message goes to the county governments, specifically Meru County, and NGOs, and also financial partners. Small-scale farmers are urgently in need of this technology. Sure. But the cost of installation, as you may have some idea on it, could be a little bit difficult for them to assess it. So if these organizations can facilitate acquisition of this technology to the small-scale farmers, and more so in the arid places where we can do rainwater harvesting and use this technology to efficiently do irrigation, please feel free to collaborate with us. We really can roll this technology to farmers and have a big impact on farmers' livelihood. My second plea is I would really encourage the industry, the business fraternity to always have a will to engage with institutions of research and universities, so that we can help each other build partnerships and also improve your products. You see, as we are engaged in doing research, you don't have to incur cost to innovate your products. You can come to us, we agree, and we innovate your product at a very affordable arrangement. So that's my plea.
Okay, that's very good. And at least one thing I've liked about this technology is that, you know, there are quite a number of technologies and techniques that people do embrace in their farming. Like you talk about there are subsurface irrigation, there's surface irrigation. There's also this one we call drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation. Among other technologies, like even there's also, okay, I don't know, either you can call it a technology where people do it manually, they do watering manually.
Yes, yes.
It's also a technology, because all of us do know and do understand that our sources of water maybe can be on the farm, can either be the rain fed, or that is maybe from irrigation. And from what I've also been able to learn, this kind of a system help us to protect our crops from famine. You see, at times maybe it's on a dry season, and the only water that we've conserved on our reservoirs is very little. So by adapting that technology, we can use the little water we have efficiently. And something else that I've been able to learn, it's about, it helps to cultivate superior crops. You see, it ensures the crop has water whenever it requires. You've told me that right now, as I read the text messages that are coming in, I can also scroll in and do some farming while I'm still sitting here. And that technology is, it's interesting. It's such a good technology. And so your crops only get water when it is required. So there's that minimal usage of water, and your crop will not go dry. And ultimately, there is also an issue of economic development, because our economy of Kenya, our economy of this world will continue to enlarge, because now there is that technology, and you know that agriculture, the GDP contribute to that 5%, and agriculture really is such a field that really gives a lot to this economy. So by such kind of innovations, farming will be made easy, and all of us will go back to farming. In fact, in such kind of a time where all of us are in this pandemic, we are encouraging people to do farming.
True.
And I do believe that you're still doing some kitchen garden and some other things that we talked about in the other episode that passed on. And irrigation water also improves the conditions of soil. You see, like you're not able to work on a soil which is very hard. Like maybe you've planted some, let's say coriander, you've planted some cabbages on or capsicum. When you go to do some light cultivation using a panga, it will be very hard for you.
Yes.
But once the ground is wet and the ground is loose, you'll be able to do such kind of mechanical operations very easy. And even as we close, and I would also love you to understand that when you apply that irrigation water, and maybe you would applied some fertilizers, it dissolves that fertilizer, and the plant is able to take the nutrient from the soil effectively. And there are messages that are coming in, and even as we close, what is your plea to our farmers, and maybe those who are listening from you wherever they are, what is your plea to our farmers?
To the farmers, I tell them to embrace technology. Through technology, through science, we can overcome so many challenges that we are facing. And a case in point is most farmers cannot do farming to the maximum benefit because of, let's say, climate, the hostile climate environment. Sometimes you find the rains come, but it's over a very short time and it's gone. You've planted your crops, and when the rains go, now they are left to wither. But you know, with the technology, the rain that came, you could have harvested it, and when it goes, you are left with the water to irrigate your crops until maturity. So technology is what will make us get out of the many problems that we face as farmers. And we should not be really rigid. Let us be open on the new ideas that are coming. Let us, and also another plea that is coming out of my heart is this. people in decision-making organs, please embrace local technology. We don't have to go to country A, B, C for these technologies. We have innovators here in Kenya. We support them. We grow the economy, and that is what will make us self-sufficient and a great industrial power. But if for everything we need we go out, a little that is not helping us. Right.
Okay, and I've seen there's someone asking, and where can we get such kind of information? Maybe do you have some papers that you've written concerning that, or maybe how can we be able to read more on that kind of a technology?
I think for the video clips, we have hosted them in YouTube, so you can get, you can search for sensor-based automatic irrigation system, and you'll get us there. Even the clip that played earlier on hand washing, it's in the YouTube. But also Meru University website, you'll find us there, and we keep on updating the content as we develop the system. So you can get that information in the university website, and you can even visit us. We encourage people to come, and we consult and help them out. So yeah.
Well, it's okay. There's another person here saying that the climate is changing so fast, and the best solution is irrigation. Hashtag Mr. Maitevia, and he's saying that it's a great topic. So we've been discussing with the Dr. Moria and Tambura some bit of climate change, and we've handled a lot of the climate change. And all of us, we know that there is that shifting of climate, and we need to embrace technologies so that we may be able to calm some of those things that are coming in. And he is saying that because of this issue of climate, we don't know when it rains. At times the rain continues, at times the rain goes off, there is no rain. So technology that is kind of irrigation system is very, very, very important. And up to there, and I believe that all of us, we've learned something, unless you have something for our viewers even as we close. Yes.
Thank you very much. It's a great opportunity to be hosted in Destiny TV. For our viewers. Coronavirus is real. Stay safe by always being in a mask, washing your hands regularly, keeping social distance, and playing God that this adversity may get out of us as soon as possible. We are going to overcome it, and please consider adopting our sensor-based automatic irrigation. It will be of great value to you, and that will also be of great value to us as the developers. Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you very much for that. And we want to appreciate all of you who are following this program sincerely, and we take pleasure to invite you even into the next episode that is coming on Saturday. And a lot of farmers have been sending us messages requesting for planting guide, and we've been sending them to you, and continue requesting us, and we Boresha team will be there for you. Make sure that whenever you have a challenge in your farm, maybe we'd love maybe installation of a drip lines and all that. Whenever you have a question, feel free to contact Destiny TV, and the Department of Agriculture will turn back to you. And thank you so much for following this, and we appreciate you. Up to there, we do not have much. May you have a lovely good evening to you wherever you are, and may the Lord bless you, and remember to keep safe. My name is Kennedy Mushira.